Hello and welcome to Alpha Team Training session number 1. These training sessions are specifically designed to help you create the very best Alpha experience for all the guests planning to come, and they're designed to answer any questions that you might have as you prepare to serve on Alpha.
Alpha has had a huge impact on my life, and so many of my friends too. So thanks for taking the time to learn more about serving on Alpha. I know that you're going to make a huge difference in someone's life.
I think the best place for us to start in this session is to answer the question, what is Alpha?
At its heart, Alpha is a simple idea.
Hey, pardon me. Sorry, guys. Just want to interrupt before we got too far along there and introduce myself and say hi. Hey, I'm Ben. I'm a friend of Jazzy and Jason's, and also I have the ability to freeze time, which is cool. And I'm going to be joining you on this Alpha Team Training journey. And the reason I came out right now is just to say hi, but also to give you my top 3 tips on how to get the most out of these Alpha Team Training sessions. Okay, my first tip is stay hydrated. This is really important. Doctors actually recommend 3 to 4 liters of water per day for humans. Being hydrated will help you focus, and that's why I picked a little something up. Half nervous, half excited. It's a camel pack. You just put it on your back, fill it up with Dr. Pepper or water. Clip on. Isn't that great? That's my first tip. My second tip is lean in. Even if you've been through this training before, lean in, engage with the content. I've actually gone through the Alpha training a bunch of times and I still learn something new every time. Now my third tip is talk it out. One of the best ways to learn about how to run Alpha is to talk with others about it. Ask questions, share stories. Also, while you're leaning in and talking it out, you can stay hydrated, especially if you have a camel pack. Another thing you should know is at certain points in each session, we'll have a few moments for you to pause the video and work on something as a group. Maybe a question for discussion, something to pray about, or a moment for a leader from your group to get up and give you some more details about your Alpha. And so actually, why don't we this is the first moment. We should just do that right now. And so in a moment, what we'll do is the question will come up on the screen and then you'll pause it. And the question I want you to talk about is, how did you end up on the team for Alpha? Well, have you done Alpha before? Do you have any stories? Just talk about your experience so far. So again, it'll come when the question's up there, you pause it, talk about it as a group, and then, do they get it? Like, is this too much? Why am I looking at them, right? They can't hear me. Or can they? Hello?
At its heart, Alpha is a simple idea. What if we create a space where people can come and have conversations about life, faith, and God in a way that is fun and authentic? A place where you can invite your friends from school or work to talk about life's biggest questions, to feel welcome no matter what they believe, and to get a glimpse of the Christian faith. And that's what Alpha is all about.
One of my best friends today is my buddy Jared, and we first met like 15 years ago when we were in high school. And back then, we hung out like every single day, and we ended up in all these different conversations. And every once in a while, we'd end up talking about God. So I invited him out to try Alpha, and we absolutely loved it. It was such a meaningful experience for us that like 15 years later, we're still talking about the conversations that we had. And over the years, I've realized that most of my friends have questions and thoughts about faith in God, but they don't really know where they could go to discuss it. Alpha creates a non-threatening place where our friends can hear the message of Jesus and then explore their questions through discussion.
Alpha happens over 9 weeks, meeting once a week with the weekend away right around the middle. And every Alpha session looks very similar and always includes these 4 things: food, a talk, discussion, and fun. Food is the ultimate icebreaker. Eating together is one of the best ways to get to know people and to create the kind of space where conversations happen naturally.
So, whether it's a full course meal or just some snacks, food is a key part of every Alpha.
The next 2 elements are the talk and discussion. Each session has a short teaching that explores a question about the basics of the Christian faith. And in every episode of the Alpha U series, there are 3 breaks for discussion. After the interviews on the street, just press pause and talk for a few minutes in a small group. The first question is always a fun icebreaker, and the next 2 go a bit deeper into the content of the episode. There's also time in each session to carry on the conversation after the episode is done.
The talks give a clear Christian perspective on the session topic. And in the small group discussion, the focus is on creating space for the guests to share their thoughts about it. It's a time where we do a lot of listening so guests can talk about what they just heard.
Discussion in small groups is the heart of Alpha. It's where friendships are built and guests get to wrestle with the message they just heard.
Lastly, every Alpha session includes fun. Now, fun is going to look different from one group to another. Some groups show funny YouTube videos, others play crazy games or do skits, but in any case, the key is to create fun moments to get people laughing and out of their shell, because that sets the stage for great conversations later.
So, every Alpha session includes food, a talk, discussion, and fun. Over the 9 weeks, there are also moments for prayer and worship with music, which we will look at more in the next 2 training sessions.
Hey guys, it's me, Ben. Thought this would be a good spot for another break, and I'll give you guys something to talk about, and then I know what I'll do. I'll go and eat the rest of that donut, and then when I unfreeze Jason, he's gonna be like, where'd my donut go? And then I'll just be laughing. I'm like, I don't know, man. And I'll make sure I have no sprinkles on my shirt. It's gonna be good. Guys, this is what I want you to do. I want maybe someone from your group to get up and talk about the details of how your Alpha is gonna look. Things like which day or night will it happen? Thursday nights? Tuesday during lunch break? Or where will it happen? Are you gonna be meeting in a youth room or a church basement or a friend's house? And then there's lots of details to talk about too, like what time should the team arrive each week, and what will you be eating for food, for example, on the first week? I mean, I'm interested in knowing that. So this is a great moment to press pause and talk about it. Maybe there's a leader who can get up and give you all the details, or you can talk about it as a group and make a plan. Let's call this the who, what, when, where of your Alpha. Okay, maybe we could actually, could we like put this, we go, like put the, like whapa, like put the words up? Yeah? Okay. Could we get even more creative? Okay, here's an idea. Bring the words right up. Oh, see you guys.
There are 4 values that shape how and why we do everything on Alpha. Alpha is about being real, relational, reliant on the Holy Spirit, and reproducible by empowering others.
The Apostle Paul says in his letter to the Corinthians, "And so it was with me, brothers and sisters, when I came to you. I did not come with eloquence or human wisdom as I proclaimed to you the testimony about God. For I resolved to know nothing while I was with you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified. I came to you in weakness, with great fear and trembling. My message and my preaching were not with wise or persuasive words, but with a demonstration of the Spirit's power, so that your faith might not rest on human wisdom, but on God's power."
So, our first value in Alpha is to be real. This is about 2 things: being real ourselves and sharing the real message about Jesus. Paul says that he resolved to know nothing except Jesus Christ and Him crucified. He knew that the power to change someone's life was found in Jesus and who He is and what He's done. That's the real message. For Paul, it wasn't about eloquence or human wisdom. And so we don't need to have all the answers or have everything figured out. We simply need to be ourselves, because it's often as people see Jesus working in the lives of ordinary Christians who don't have it all together, that they understand what it means to have a relationship with Jesus.
Yeah, and this leads us to our second value. Alpha is about being relational. In a time when so many people are lonely and true friendships can be hard to find, Alpha is a place where you can experience real friendship. Like Paul wrote to the letter to the Thessalonians, "We were delighted to share with you not only the gospel of God, but our lives as well."
Alpha is a dialogue, not a monologue. It's a conversation with friends. And as friendships grow and trust is established, people become more honest and open.
Yeah, every once in a while someone asks, why is Alpha as long as it is? Like, couldn't it just be shorter? And I see where they're coming from. Like, it's a big commitment for the guests and for the team putting it on. But the goal of Alpha isn't just information transfer. It's about friendship. And you can't fast forward friendships. Some of the best moments on Alpha only happen after friendships have been built.
The third value in Alpha is to be reliant on the Holy Spirit. Paul wrote to the Corinthians, "My message and my preaching were not with wise and persuasive words, but with the demonstration of the Spirit's power." so that your faith might not rest on human wisdom, but on God's power.
Yeah, God is the one who changes people's lives, not us. When you and I might feel inadequate or unqualified, we can rely on the Holy Spirit to give us the wisdom and strength that we need. The Spirit helps us in every area of the Christian life, including sharing our faith with others.
And everything on Alpha is shaped by this conviction. This is why we confidently and authentically present the message. It's why we can have such open conversations. And it's why the Alpha Weekend is so important. It's where the most time is given to prayer and discussion about the Holy Spirit.
And the last Alpha value that we want to look at is Alpha is reproducible. And this value is all about empowering others. Alpha is a way that anyone can be part of seeing others meet Jesus.
And there is a place on Alpha for anyone to serve. Some of you will serve in groups as hosts or helpers, or in other ways, like greeting guests or preparing food.
And it's often those who have just finished Alpha that make the best hosts and helpers on the next Alpha. Because when God impacts their lives, the natural response is to want to invite their friends to experience the same thing.
And that's actually why I ran Alpha for the first time. It was a tool that helped me reach my friends at school. I wanted to share my faith, and Alpha was a natural way for me to do that.
So good. Thanks, Jazzy. Love it. Hey, this is a great moment for another break for some discussion. A little recap for you, just to remind you in case you dozed off. It's all good, I got you. So there are 4 values behind Alpha: being real, being relational, being reliant on the Holy Spirit, and being reproducible as we empower others. These are the values that make Alpha work. So I want you to take a few minutes to talk about them in your group. Talk about which value stands out the most to you and why. And how are you going to build your Alpha in small groups on these values? Okay, talk about it.
Serving on Alpha is one of the most challenging and most rewarding things that I've ever done. I find it so disappointing when someone doesn't come back or on the nights when the conversations feel flat, but every time I serve on Alpha, I'm blown away as I get to see God change lives up close. I find that I fall more and more in love with God as I see people find hope and new life in Him. And I think that's gonna be your experience too. And so we're praying that you have an amazing experience on Alpha, and we're so glad to be a small part of this journey with you.
So that's it for session 1. We've got 2 other training sessions to help you with small groups and praying for guests on Alpha.
Okay, love you guys. We'll see you in session 2.